Welcome, dear viewers, to an emotional journey through the captivating world of the bold and the beautiful. This beloved drama never fails to deliver heart-stopping twists, complex relationships, and moments of profound reflection. Today, we delve deep into two interconnected storylines that explore themes of love, redemption, forgiveness, and self-discovery. Buckle up as we unravel the intricate lives of Liam, Steffi, Hope, Deacon, Carter, and Bill, characters whose paths intertwine in ways that challenge their beliefs and reshape their futures. Liam's story begins with a moment of sheer vulnerability. He wakes up in a hospital bed, disoriented but alive. The realization dawns on him slowly: he owes his life to Steffi's unwavering determination and quick thinking. If not for her timely intervention, rushing him to the hospital when every second mattered, Liam might not have survived. This moment is a stark reminder of how fragile life can be and how even the smallest acts of courage can make a world of difference. Steffi's actions are not just heroic, they are deeply selfless. Despite any past conflicts or lingering emotions between them, she puts everything aside to save him. Her willingness to endure physical and emotional exhaustion to ensure his safety speaks volumes about her character. As Liam processes what has happened, gratitude fills his heart, not just for Steffi but also for Dr. Grace, the skilled physician who played a pivotal role in his recovery. Dr. Grace's expertise and dedication are a testament to her professionalism, but for Liam, they mean so much more. Her steady hands and calm demeanor gave him a second chance at life, a chance he does not take lightly. In this moment of reflection, Liam begins to reevaluate his priorities and relationships. However, not all emotions are easy to reconcile. Liam's thoughts inevitably turn to Bill, his father, and a man whose actions have often been a source of turmoil in his life. Initially, anger bubbles to the surface as Liam recalls how Bill's decisions contributed to the chaos that nearly cost him everything. It is difficult for Liam to ignore the pain caused by his father's recklessness. Yet as he observes Bill's visible anguish and guilt over what has transpired, something shifts within him. Bill's remorse is genuine, it is written all over his face and laced into every word he speaks. In an unexpected but poignant moment of vulnerability, Bill promises Liam that he will change, that he will cut ties with Luna and work toward becoming a better man. This promise marks a turning point in their relationship. Forgiveness is never easy, it requires strength and compassion, but Liam chooses to let go of his anger. He understands that holding on to resentment will only weigh him down as he embarks on this new chapter of his life. By forgiving Bill, Liam not only frees himself from the burden of bitterness but also opens the door for healing between father and son. While Liam's story is one of survival and reconciliation, another storyline unfolds simultaneously, a tale of conflict and heartbreak centered around Hope, Deacon, and Carter. Hope finds herself blindsided by shocking news: her father, Deacon, has gotten into a physical altercation with Carter. This revelation shakes her to her core. Hope had believed that Deacon intended to have a civil conversation with Carter, perhaps to address lingering tensions or misunderstandings, but never did she imagine it would escalate into violence. Hope's initial reaction is one of disbelief. She struggles to reconcile the image of her father as someone who has worked hard to rebuild his life after years of mistakes with this act of aggression. Deacon's actions feel like a betrayal, not just of her trust but also of the progress he has made in becoming a better person. At the same time, Hope cannot ignore her own feelings toward Carter. While she harbors resentment toward him for his role in recent events, she knows deep down that violence is never the answer. The situation becomes even more complicated when Carter misinterprets Deacon's actions as being orchestrated by Hope herself. This misunderstanding drives a wedge between them that may be impossible to bridge. Carter begins to see Hope not as an ally or someone who cares about him but as someone who has manipulated events behind the scenes for her own purposes. This perception hurts Hope deeply because it could not be further from the truth. Caught in this web of conflict and mistrust, Hope feels trapped. She wants desperately to explain herself, to make Carter see that she had no part in what happened, but words fail her. The weight of everything becomes too much to bear. Deacon's impulsive behavior, Carter's accusations, and her own sense of helplessness in trying to mend these fractured relationships. In an act of self-preservation, and perhaps as an attempt to find clarity, Hope makes a bold decision: she will leave Los Angeles behind and start anew elsewhere. This choice is not made lightly. It comes after much soul-searching and reflection on what she truly wants out of life. By leaving, Hope hopes, no pun intended, to escape the toxic dynamics that have come to define her current reality. Before departing, however, she takes one last step toward protecting her father from himself. She pleads with Deacon not to confront Carter again or involve himself in any further conflicts that could jeopardize his future. As someone who has already faced legal consequences for past mistakes, Deacon cannot afford another misstep, and Hope knows this all too well. Her plea is both practical and emotional. Practical because it underscores the very real risks Deacon faces if he continues down this path. Emotional because it reveals how much she still cares about him despite everything that has happened. As these two storylines unfold side by side, the story of Liam's recovery and reconciliation with Bill on one hand, Hope's struggle with betrayal and self-discovery on the other, they reveal deeper truths about human nature, our capacity for forgiveness, our need for redemption, our desire for connection even when it feels out of reach. Steffi emerges as a beacon of hope throughout these events, a reminder that compassion can transcend personal grievances and bring light into even the darkest moments. Her actions serve as an example not only for Liam but also for viewers who may find themselves grappling with their own challenges. Similarly, Dr. Grace represents the quiet strength found in those who dedicate their lives to helping others without seeking recognition or reward. A reminder that heroes come in many forms. Meanwhile, Bill's journey toward redemption highlights how change is possible when one takes responsibility for their actions, a message that resonates deeply in today's world where accountability often feels elusive. And finally there is Hope, a character whose name itself symbolizes optimism even amidst adversity, as she embarks on a journey toward self-discovery far away from Los Angeles's familiar yet fraught landscape. Next, we will delve into the intriguing dynamics of the bold and the beautiful and explore how the characters navigate complex relationships and accusations. Let's start with the fan reactions and then work our way backward to understand the plot developments. Fan reactions and analysis. The fans of The Bold and the Beautiful have been quite vocal about the recent storyline involving Ridge Forrester and Hope Logan. On social media, viewers expressed their discontent with how Ridge has been treating Hope, often labeling her as the scapegoat for the Forrester Creations takeover. One fan astutely observed, Hope was the scapegoat. Carter will turn to Daphne Rose and Ridge will always be a has-been playboy that couch surfs, looking for the next victim. This sentiment highlights the perception that Ridge tends to deflect responsibility and blame others, particularly the Logan women, for his own misfortunes. Another fan noted, Carter didn't feel like Hope used him until she broke up with him after he was no longer of use. This comment underscores the complex dynamics between Carter and Hope, suggesting that Carter's feelings of being used are somewhat misplaced. Fans also pointed out Carter's tendency to become infatuated easily, stating, Carter is and has been a tool for ages. If any woman looks at him, he's head over heels. No wonder he and Ridge have a connection. This connection between Carter and Ridge is seen as a bond over their shared tendency to blame others for their problems. Furthermore, fans questioned the narrative's direction, wondering what would happen if Hope were to take responsibility for her actions. A fan speculated, and what would magically happen if Hope did take responsibility and apologize for her part in the coup? Absolutely nothing would happen, because it doesn't fit Stucky's agenda for getting rid of Hope because of her personal revenge vendetta against Hope. This suggests that the storyline is driven more by personal vendettas than by character development or plot progression. The fan reactions also highlight a broader issue within the show, the portrayal of women as scapegoats. This theme is not new to The Bold and the Beautiful, as characters like Brooke and Taylor have faced similar treatment in the past. However, the current storyline with Hope has sparked a renewed discussion about how women are represented and treated in the narrative. The accusations against Hope. Ridge Forrester's accusations against Hope Logan have been a focal point of the recent episodes. During a dramatic confrontation, Ridge pointedly accused Hope of masterminding the Forrester Creations takeover, stating, "The difference is that she's not taking responsibility for it." This statement reflects Ridge's pattern of blaming the Logan women for various issues, often without sufficient evidence. It's as if Ridge expects Hope to accept his version of events, despite Carter being equally involved in the plan. The dynamic between Ridge and Hope is complex, with Ridge often portraying himself as the victim. However, fans see through this facade, recognizing that Carter's role in the takeover was significant. The narrative raises questions about accountability and how characters perceive responsibility. Ridge's accusations against Hope seem to stem from a deeper issue, his inability to accept blame and his tendency to shift the focus onto others. Moreover, this storyline has led to a deeper analysis of Ridge's character. His behavior is not just about blaming others but also about maintaining control and power within the Forrester family. By accusing Hope, Ridge is attempting to regain his influence and authority, which he feels has been threatened by the takeover. Character dynamics and plot development. The storyline involving Ridge, Hope, and Carter is filled with intricate character dynamics. Carter's infatuation with women and his tendency to become overly invested in relationships often lead to complications. His connection with Ridge, who shares similar traits, creates an interesting dynamic where both characters frequently find themselves at the center of controversy. The plot development in The Bold and the Beautiful often hinges on these character flaws, using them to drive the narrative forward. However, some fans feel that the storyline is becoming predictable, with characters like Ridge and Carter consistently blaming others for their problems. This predictability can make the show less engaging for viewers who crave more complex character development. Furthermore, the show's reliance on these tropes raises questions about the portrayal of masculinity. Characters like Ridge and Carter embody a certain type of masculinity that is rooted in blame-shifting and a lack of accountability. This portrayal can be seen as reinforcing negative stereotypes about men and their inability to accept responsibility. The role of Carter in the storyline. Carter's role in the storyline is multifaceted. On one hand, he is portrayed as a victim who feels used by Hope. On the other hand, his actions and decisions have contributed significantly to the current situation. Fans have pointed out that Carter's feelings of being used are somewhat self-inflicted, given his tendency to become deeply invested in relationships quickly. Moreover, Carter's connection to Daphne Rose adds another layer to the plot. This potential relationship could serve as a distraction from his issues with Hope or as a way to further complicate the dynamics between the characters. It will be interesting to see how this subplot develops and whether it will lead to more character growth or simply more drama. In conclusion, the recent episodes of The Bold and the Beautiful have sparked significant discussion among fans. The accusations against Hope Logan and the dynamics between Ridge, Carter, and Hope have been central to the plot. While the show continues to explore themes of blame and responsibility, fans are eager for more nuanced character development and unexpected plot twists. As the storyline unfolds, it will be interesting to see how these characters navigate their complex relationships and whether they will learn to accept responsibility for their actions. The future of the show depends on its ability to balance character development with engaging plotlines. By exploring deeper themes and avoiding predictable tropes, The Bold and the Beautiful can continue to captivate its audience and provide a compelling narrative that resonates with viewers. Whether the show will take this path remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the fans will continue to watch and critique every move, eager for a storyline that truly does justice to the characters they love. Next, we will delve into the intriguing dynamics of Forrester Creations and explore how a potential new direction could revitalize the show. Let's start by examining the idea of Hope Logan starting her own fashion house, a move that could bring a fresh wave of excitement to the series. Starting anew, Hope's fashion house. The concept of Hope launching her own fashion house is not only a strategic career move but also a creative way to introduce new storylines and rivalries. This could mirror the historical rivalry between the Forresters and Sally Spectra, a dynamic that once captivated audiences. By establishing her own brand, Hope would not only be distancing herself from the toxic environment at Forrester Creations but also creating an opportunity for character growth and development. This new venture could allow her to rediscover her values of honesty and kindness, qualities that have been overshadowed by her recent actions. Moreover, a rivalry between Hope's fashion house and Forrester Creations could inject much-needed energy into the show, offering viewers a compelling narrative arc. The toxic relationship between Hope and Steffi. The tension between Hope and Steffi Forrester has become increasingly toxic, making it clear that their working relationship is unsustainable. This animosity stems from a series of events, including the takeover of Forrester Creations by Carter Walton and Hope's involvement. Despite Carter's eventual decision to return the company to its rightful owners, the aftermath left Hope without a role at Forrester. Her refusal to acknowledge the wrongdoing and her continued defiance have strained her relationships with the family, particularly with Steffi. This situation highlights the need for Hope to move on and forge her own path, both personally and professionally. Carter's redemption and Brooke's role. Carter Walton's journey towards redemption is a significant aspect of the storyline. His admission of guilt and desire to make amends have been genuine, and his actions have shown a commitment to regaining the trust of his friends and colleagues. Brooke Logan, too, has acknowledged her part in the takeover, stating her intentions were to return the company to Ridge Forrester. Both Carter and Brooke have demonstrated a willingness to learn from their mistakes, which contrasts sharply with Hope's stance. This contrast underscores the importance of accountability and humility in relationships and business dealings. The takeover and its aftermath. The takeover of Forrester Creations by Carter Walton was a pivotal plot point in recent months. Through a clever legal maneuver, Carter managed to gain control of the company, with Hope supporting his actions. However, as guilt began to weigh on him, he decided to return the company to its rightful owners. This decision was part of a deal with Ridge, which initially included provisions for Hope's line, Hope for the Future, to remain at Forrester. However, Steffi later vetoed this arrangement, leading to Hope's departure from the company. This sequence of events has highlighted the complexities of loyalty, power, and family dynamics within the show. Brooke's influence and Ridge's decision. Brooke Logan's influence on Ridge Forrester is undeniable, and her role in the company's recent history has been significant. Her decision to take the CEO position was motivated by her desire to return the company to Ridge, a move that reflects her deep emotional investment in him and the family. While Ridge initially agreed to terms that would have kept Hope involved with Forrester, Steffi's intervention changed the course of events. This dynamic shows how personal relationships can impact business decisions, often leading to unexpected outcomes. Hope's transformation and the need for change. Over the past few months, Hope's character has undergone a notable transformation. She has moved away from her core values of honesty and kindness, embracing a more defensive and defiant stance. This shift is largely due to her involvement in the takeover and her subsequent refusal to acknowledge any wrongdoing. As the situation at Forrester Creations continues to evolve, it becomes clear that Hope needs to reassess her priorities and consider a new path. Starting her own fashion house could be the catalyst for this change, allowing her to rebuild her personal and professional life on her own terms. Conclusion: a new era for the bold and the beautiful. In conclusion, the current dynamics at Forrester Creations present an opportunity for significant change and growth. By exploring new storylines, such as Hope's potential fashion house, the show can revitalize its narrative and offer viewers fresh conflicts and alliances. This direction not only aligns with the historical rivalries that have defined the series but also provides a platform for character development and redemption. As the characters navigate these changes, the show can delve deeper into themes of loyalty, power, and personal growth, ensuring that the bold and the beautiful remains engaging and relevant for its audience.